Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about Volt, specifically what players love about him. Let's start off easy with his high versatility. He is useful in pretty much every single mission type there is. He has the ability to defend targets with this 3. You can place down an electric shield. It's not the best form of defense, but it gets the job done. It is able to block enemy fire. Now obviously if an enemy wants to, they can walk straight through it, but it blocks enemy fire, which is amazing because that's how most defense targets will be taking damage. On top of blocking enemy fire, it also adds electricity damage to all projectiles and just increases that damage by 50%. Now this is obviously just fantastic because you can never get too much damage in a mission. And naturally, when it comes to something else like survival, exterminate, and pretty much any other mission type, there's no problem with his other abilities in his kit. For example, speed will literally just make you super fast, allowing you to breeze through these missions. And naturally, with 4 discharge that allows you to crowd control and nuke lower level enemies, so going through and killing a bunch of enemies is also no problem at all. And the next part that people love about him is his high speed gameplay. This is pretty much what I've noticed a lot of people use him for, is just his 2 adding high speed to his gameplay. And him being an all-rounder means that he's not focused solely on speed, but it is just a lovely thing to have. High speed is something everyone loves because they want to breeze through these missions because there's just so much to do in this game. It's not that you just want to get it done and over with, it's just that you want to get to stuff later, or you just might like playing super fast. It really just depends on the person. Now the next thing I'm going to focus on is his accessibility. He is literally one of the 3 starting frames. He is the most accessible frame you'll probably see. Aside from the other 2 starting frames, he is the most accessible to get for newer players, and even farming him is not hard at all. So him being super early and accessible is something everyone can love and get behind because it means you don't have to grind too hard to get him. Now that is a small point. The next point is that he has super strong augment mods. This is like the main thing because the augment mods, though some people hate augment mods, they're like band-aids, and he has a lot of augment mods, that's for sure. Total, he has 6 augment mods, which is absolutely crazy, but they're all very useful. For example, if you wanted to on discharge run capacitance, or however you pronounce that, converts 3% of damage dealt into shields, split between Volt and squad mates. Now, if you have a hard time understanding that, it's very easy. Essentially, it's just shield gating. You put on capacitance, and you literally, so long as an enemy is being affected by discharge, are perpetually always shield gating. You're essentially immortal. You're never gonna die. Every time an enemy is affected by this, you just start gaining shields, you and your squad mates. So it's one of the best augment mods, and it's absolutely fantastic because his only other form of survivability is electric shield, but you have to be facing the enemies for it to actually work. If an enemy is behind you, you're not going to be negating any damage, which is obviously extraordinarily bad. So capacitance is one of the best augment mods to have on him. It's almost necessary. I personally do not have it, and that's because I'm not part of Arbiter's Hexus or the Red Veil. Pretty sad. The next one is Shock Trooper. Hold to cast will grant all allies within 15 meters an additional 100% electricity damage to their attacks for 40 seconds. Just a shit ton of damage. What's not to love about that? Pairing Shock Trooper with Electric Shield, you're just in for a shit ton of damage, especially if you have on speed to constantly reload quicker. You're just going to be doing a shit ton of damage extraordinarily quickly. It's amazing. He's really living up to being a speedy Warframe, if you ask me. Now, the very last thing I'm going to focus on, because honestly, I don't feel the need to mention every single one of these augment mods. I only mentioned my 2 favorite ones, though the other 4 are also very good, depending on what kind of build you're going for. The last thing I'm going to focus on is something not a lot of people do anymore. It's made pretty useless, honestly. He is extremely strong in Eidolon Hunts. Eidolons fall with ease if you're playing Volt, because Eidolons are weak to radiation damage, and funnily enough, Shock Trooper, Electric Shield, both of those increase your electricity damage, meaning you're just going to do a shit ton of radiation damage. And being a fast Warframe, he can keep up with ease, and his survivability is not bad either. Essentially, he's just by far one of the best Warframes to play for Eidolon Hunts. And like I said, nobody even cares about that anymore. If you're a new player, you might be doing a few Eidolon Hunts now, but anybody that's been playing for more than 5-6 months at this point will have stopped doing that, because if you played during the last operation, then there's no need to do an Eidolon Hunt at all because you got all the arcanes you need. And so, with that being said, that's honestly pretty much just about it. In the end, what people love about him is that he's extremely high speed, extremely versatile, extremely accessible. His augment mods are insane, and he can hunt Eidolons with ease. You could make an argue that he can do insane AoE damage with his 4th ability Discharge, and he can, but it's mostly for lower level nuking. If you want to kill higher level enemies, you're going to be a weapon frame, which is why Shock Trooper and Electric Shield are incredibly important, especially since you can run around while holding Electric Shield, making it so much easier. And now, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. Tell me, what do you like about Volt? Or rather, do you love him? Do you hate him? And if you do, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And with that being said, until next time.